All right. So what else are the common pitfalls?
Yeah. So we have several. The next one I'll mention, staying on the incentive plan idea, is most people reward for short-term performance, but they fail to reward for long-term performance. So think about the public marketplace. Public companies are going to have a short-term incentive plan, but they're also going to offer stock options, restricted stock units to their leadership team at least, and more commonly, deeper in the organization than that. Why do they do that? Well, there are various reasons. Some are even economic, but the fundamental purpose is to align the employees, let's say the leadership team, with the shareholders. Shareholders want their stock to go up, so let's give the employees some stock so that they'll want their stock to go up. Now that's perfect alignment. We have employees who begin to think like owners because they are owners. Private companies generally don't want to dilute their equity and give stock or sell stock to their employees. And we typically advise them not to do it. However, there are alternatives that are similar to stock or stock options that achieve the same purpose, that are much easier to adopt in a private company environment. Many would have heard of the term phantom stock. That's a sample. There are 5 or 6 different variations and types. So we could generally call those long-term incentive plans. So we strongly encourage organizations who are in growth mode, we're going to be bigger, to start a long-term incentive plan for at least their key people, and maybe they'll expand it to more people going forward. So that's the second error, which is only focus your team on short-term results, don't link them to long-term enterprise value growth, and that can be easily remedied.
And what is your recommendation on not giving equity in the company? Like, why is that relevant to a large company and not a small company?
Well, several reasons. In a small company, you're more concerned about diluting the cap table. Secondly, once you do, you give employees stock. Now, depending upon the rules of the state you're domiciled in, you may have to open the books to those employees. They're going to see how much you're paid. And you may or may not want that. The third thing, from the employee side, in a public environment, they have a ready market to sell their stock when they're ready to. In a private environment, they don't. The only people they're probably restricted to only selling it back to the company or other shareholders who may not be interested in buying it. So you don't have the kind of liquidity flexibility you'd have in the public market.